back to the Peddler News. I'm Ashley Fulkerson.
And I'm Hank Dotsey.
Mr. Krause, we know how much you love the Peddler, so this episode is dedicated to you.
We decided to ask the faculty and students of Catholic High either what their favorite part of class with you is, or one word to describe you.
Let's take a look.
Mr. Krause is a great man.
Well, first, I want to say that, I'm going to kind of go back to the old cliche. You don't know that you've got something until it's not here, it's not around, or whatever. Mr. Krause, he's probably one of, if not the top teachers here at school that is the most respected especially by students, but also among his peers. He's just a good guy. He's faith-filled. Tony's got a heart of gold. He absolutely will do anything and everything for you if he can. He jumps in. He's involved in so many things, and with him not being here, you don't really realize just how much he does until you have to fill those shoes. Here in the department, there's 4 of us here, and it's like, one of our arms, one of our legs is gone. Those shoes are just hard to fill. We're beginning to get into the meat of our activities here at school, starting in on retreats and days of recollection and all that kind of stuff, and being able to sit down and talk about these things. When you got one of us missing, it's very obvious. So his presence not here is greatly missed, and we want him to come back very soon. That's
Selfless.
Velveeta cheese.
I would say incredible.
Loyal.
Because he is so caring and puts his students first, the word that I would choose to describe him is Christ-like.
Brother.
When he says, "Are you ready to read?" and goes, on the vent.
One word I'd use to describe Mr. Krause would definitely be passionate, because I feel like he's passionate at everything he does here at Catholic High, from teaching to just being a good guy around the school.
He's a jokester.
Nice guy.
The thank you thing.
What? Who? Mr. Krause? Well, since he's not here, I'm having to do a lot more of his work, and that means that I'm doing a lot more napping because I'm working so hard. Mr. Krause, he makes me want to be a better person.
caring.
Aficionado.
He's so good at so many things, and he's a great teacher, a great role model, a great Catholic. He's very strong in his faith, and very devoted to his wife and daughter. He's just awesome.
I think he's the most positive person I've ever seen. He's always happy, just upbeat about it all.
He's a ray of sunshine.
Genuine.
Devout.
Him telling a bunch of stories about Frankie.
Generous.
Mr. Krause is one of the most liked individuals in the school building. Students love him. He's a very professional person, good person, and you can tell by his actions, and he's a very, very strong Christian man, so wishing him the best.
He is like one of the nicest people that I think I've ever met in my entire life.
Kind, witty, hilarious.
Kind-hearted. He is the most genuine, loving, cares for you as a person and who you are and your well-being. Always has a smile on his face, always wanting to make sure you have a good day. Genuinely loves life and loves the people that are in it.
My favorite part about Mr. Krause's class is definitely study period. Mr. Krause, come back, we miss you.
The thank you theme today is what you could give out for Halloween other than candy.
Frankie, a rock. Socks. Frankie.
Oh, what time is it?
D9.
Mr. Krause would give anybody the shirt off their back without even thinking about it.
I would describe Tony Krause as being a wonderful man, devoted teacher, strong faith, deep faith, and would be the first one to say that God is always good. And we love him very much.
Mr. Krause to me is the perfect example of a true Christian, what it's like to be Christ-filled and helpful and sweet and kind. He's just the sweetest person ever.
I'm going to describe Mr. Krause in one word. Thought of a bunch of words, but I think the word dedicated fits the best.
Okay, so he's a really positive person, and if you're ever in like a really bad mood, you can always go to him and talk to him, and it'll make you feel better about everything.
Respectful.
Mr. Krause is probably our most respected faculty member on here, as Mr. Siddle has said before, and always a pleasure to talk to. He always has a smile on his face, very funny, and you know, kids always talk very positive about him, how he's fair and he does everything by the book, and just a wonderful man. He's you know, definitely a true example of Christ.
Beastie.
Always all smiles and always a welcoming grin and a pat on the back.
Christ-like.
Brother.
Mr. Krause is vivacious. That's probably the best word to describe him, because he's always smiling, laughing, making sure that everyone is in the best mood possible, and always motivating others to always do their best. So vivacious is my word for Mr. Krause.
Mr. Krause is dependable. You can always count on him to be there when you need somebody, be there when you need help, and be somebody that you can count on.
Awesome.
Mr. Krause has been very welcoming to me. Kind.
Mr. Krause, he comes through and he is one of the friendliest and always has a big smile on his face when he comes through. We love and miss you.
Hello, Mr. Krause. If I had to think of one word to describe you right now, I would call you a slacker. And the reason I call you a slacker is because you're not here to help us and everybody's having to pick up your slack. Actually, that's just a joke, probably not a very good joke, but what I would actually say is that the word to describe you would be very professional. And professional in terms of about as much as anybody I've ever worked with in 35 years. Your examples and your dedication and the things that you do for students and for Catholic High is immeasurable. And it's certainly appreciated, and we appreciate you and all the things you've done, and hurry up and get well and get back.
Mr. Krause is one of the most genuine and faith-filled people that I know, that I have the privilege to know.
Mr. Krause, you're one of a kind.
Exuberant.
Inspirational.
Fresh as a daisy.
Unique.
Stupendous. Extraordinary.
Well, I don't eat just one Oreo. I eat 3 at a time, but I juggle them. So this is how you eat, the proper way to eat the Oreo. And the water.
Mr. Krause, clearly you're well loved here at Catholic High, and you've really made an impact on everyone.
Everybody's praying for a speedy recovery and can't wait to have you back.
Mr. Krause! Get well soon!
when he talks about his dogs.